All right, guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead. So today I want to share a super short video about homemade weed killer. Now, all of us have heard of Roundup and other things like that. I'm going to let you guys do your own research on that. I don't want to mess with those chemicals. I definitely have done enough research to know that it's not for me and it's not for my property. Now, there's so many of these recipes for homemade weed killer all over the internet. The problem is they don't explain how to mix it and use it correctly. So, before we even mix, you should always check your weather because this mixture will perform best if you have at least 24 hours of dry, hot, sunny weather. If you got 3 or 4 sunny days in a row with no rain, that is the ultimate way to use this. Number 2, no water. Don't put any water in this mix. I don't know how many people will see that this kind of mixture and then they try to add water to it. You're just watering it down, making it less potent. Will it still work? Yes, but not as good. So I'm going to give you measurements. We're going to take this really simple. And the best part is, if you stay at the end of the video, I will show you before and after of actually using this product. Now, we are going to be using this on a chicken coop that I've got that's overrun with Japanese honeysuckle and poison ivy. And then we'll also be using it on a patch of grass in our new tiny home driveway we just put in. So first things first, you will need a 1-gallon sprayer container or whatever size you're going to need. This is to mix up the 1 gallon here. So if you have a 5-gallon or 3-gallon, adapt this to what you're using. We're going to use 3 ingredients. It's very simple. Dishwashing liquid. Dawn, Gain, the higher priced ones are generally better because they work better. There's less water in them, okay? Now, vinegar. Vinegar comes in 2 different strengths generally. Sometimes they're the exact same strength. So either one will work fine. Standard white vinegar is great, but if you can find the cleaning vinegar, that's what we use. It's slightly less diluted. And the third ingredient is Epsom salt, all right? Epsom salt is used instead of, say, iodized or anything else because it actually breaks down in the liquid better, so it doesn't clog up your sprayer. But you're basically salting the earth. We can go back and look in the Bible. We can look at all kinds of old history where people have salted farms when they took over countries. Salting works, all right? But just like with Roundup, you don't want to spray this stuff on ground you want to use for growing in. This is for like sidewalks, pushing back invasive things, stuff like that. Now, let's get this out of the way. And we're going to start off with the first ingredient you're going to put in, which is 1 cup of Epsom salt. All right. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just put in 1 cup of Epsom salt. Okay. Now, with that in the bottom, try and sweep off the head here so that when you put your plunger back in, it won't be as bad on the threads. It's much easier to do this now when it's dry. All right, your next ingredient is going to be your vinegar. We want to fill the thing up to the height line or full line on this. You don't want to overfill it because it'll just go everywhere when you go to put your plunger in. All right, so we're going to get this thing filled up. This is a cleaning vinegar, so I think it's 0.06 or something. But any kind of vinegar really will do. White vinegar is the best. Cleaning white vinegar is the absolute best. All right. And that should be good right about there. And then a 1/4 cup of liquid detergent. Dish soap works best, I find. And all that does is make it stick to the broadleaf plants better. Makes it harder to wash off. Now, we don't want to put any water in. But before we go any farther, let's talk about cost because we are the Frugal Homestead. So you have your vinegar. This is about $4 at our local Walmart. We all know what dish soap costs. You can get it for as little as a tiny bottle of Dawn for $1. So we probably use next to nothing on that. And then the Epsom salt was about $4 for that giant bag, and you only use a cup at a time. So imagine how many you can mix up. So when I broke it down, because I didn't even use all the vinegar because it won't all fit, it comes out to somewhere around $4.50 a gallon. That is cheaper than Roundup when you really think about it. Now, I do want to mention that on broadleaf and like clover and stuff like that, this stuff just knocks it out. I mean, it'll turn brown and die. But if you're talking about a heavy blade grass like a Kentucky bluegrass, or even as far as to say like some of the heavy crab grasses, it may take 2 applications. A lot of the regular broadleaf weeds, if you have multiple days, it will just knock them out. Now, it is important to understand that if you've got a weed here, it's probably already seeded out. So you probably will have to reapplicate the area until you catch up and get all the seeds killed off too. But over time, you're salting that piece of earth. Now, Epsom salt, generally speaking, is nicer to concrete than other kinds of salt. So you shouldn't have any real problem with that. Now, all we're going to do now, put our plunger in, screw it down in, give this thing a good shake as we're heading out the door, and we're going to go get some spraying done, and you guys are coming with me. So make sure you stay because you want to see the before and after while I kill these weeds. All right, guys, so as you can see, we've got this grass line that's been growing here. We're going to go ahead and just spray it down. We want to make sure everything gets wet. A lot of these are broadleaf weeds, some grass, some crabgrass. So we're just going to soak these down real good. Even the little tiny ones. We don't need to go crazy, just spray the root structure where it connects to the ground, and then make sure all the leaves are covered good. Now you'll see that I shake this a lot as I'm trying to get it to mix. I want to do this throughout because I want the salt to get drawn up. All right, guys, 5 days later. Now, we did have 2 days of rain that I wasn't expecting, but you can see all that grass that was here, it's gone, dead, or dying. Now, all I have to do is give this another quick spray, and it would all be dead. I mean, they would all be gone. But look at how brown it is dying off. You have to give it time. But the nice thing is, especially on this gravel, when the salt soaks up, most of this won't grow back. You do have some starts of some new stuff, like right there, but even that's starting to yellow out. All right, guys, so here's the other problem spot. This is an old chicken coop we got here, and it is just covered with Japanese honeysuckle and poison ivy. I mean, it is just coated. It's a nightmare all mixed up. That's how much I got left. I'm just going to soak this thing completely down, and we'll see what we do in about 3 to 5 days. I'm guessing I'm going to have to come back and spray it a second time. But let's see what one spray does, and you'll get to see the results. I do have to be careful because I got comfrey over there. So we will be a little watchful of how we spray, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. All right, and now we're up by the old chicken coop, and it definitely is starting to take effect. See how thin all that is now? Now this is honeysuckle. You're gonna have more problems getting rid of this, and that's poison ivy right there. These take a little bit more spraying. The problem is when it rains, it washes the broadleaves off. That's why I said if you can do it with lots of sun, it's best. Now we did have 2 days of rain that washed all the spray off, but look, it still is destroying it. Now if we come around the side here to this side, you can see how much has died off. I mean, it's impressive how much is gone. And then if we come around to actual front, I mean, there's a lot of this dead and dying off. Now, the benefit to this kind of thing is it will kill off most of it, and then you just go in and cut along the bottom once it's all cleared out. That way you won't get poison ivy, but you just cut off all the vines and then everything else will die. This just gets you into that mess so you can deal with it. And inside, most of it is dying off in there. But even up there, this whole side at the top was covered. In the last part where I showed you guys I was spraying it, and it's all starting to die back now. Obviously, when you're doing invasive stuff like this, you need a nice long stretch, and this thing's kind of shaded, which is not helpful. But I got one more thing to show you guys. So if you want to see how well this works, there's your answer right there. Look at that. This is a telephone pole, and now my wife does not have to weed eat around it anymore, and neither do I. Now, I didn't try to make it nice and pretty. I could have held the sprayer closer and made a real nice circle, but that is one spray. I haven't touched it since. Not bad. So, really, it's a low-cost way to not be using nasty chemicals on your property. Salt has been used for years. Vinegar has been used for years. Both those have been tested to be safe. There's arguments about dish soap. But the reality is this is just an option. I wanted to put it out there. Too many people mix this up and just expect you're supposed to add water. Really, I don't think it's a good idea. I will say that it's good to buy a quality sprayer bottle. Some of these cheap ones don't hold up, like mine just gave out. I'll have to buy a new one. That's how you know I didn't respray any of these spots, because my bottle's toast. It's laying down there, it's trashed. So, just another option, little DIY. I find I like it a lot better. I don't like handling herbicides and stuff like that. I really think that there's some really bad stuff in there, and I think it stays in your ground, and it can even leach into your water supply. So I'd just rather not use it. But let me know down in the comments if you guys have tried this, what you thought of it. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.